All right. Good evening, everyone. It is 4:09, 4:10 in I'll call it the evening. Um, and on September 14th, 2021. And today I get to do a negative $185 recap. I traded in the morning and I sat back and I watched the markets for about 45 minutes in close to lunchtime. And I went and took a long lunch, and I came back and I sat in front of the screens from about 1:30 until now. And there were trades, but I just didn't take them. I'm not really comfortable going short. And that makes me not very good at it. If you're writing if you're right-handed and you write with your left hand, you can write with your left hand, but it just doesn't look very good. So I attempted to short Zoom today here, and I'll show you. In fact, actually, a buddy of mine who told me to short Netflix, I should have listened to him. He had a good price at 586.34 right there. I'll go into it. So let's see, Life. Yeah, so I tried to trade Life, let's see, looks like 3 times. 1, 2, yeah, 3 times. I tried to trade it here for 200 shares pre-market, and I was in it at about $12.30, and it went up, and then it came back down. I let it go before it went red on me here in the morning in this first trade here. For $4.99, I got $4.99 on 200 shares there, and so then I bought 100 shares here on this candle as it went up, and sure enough, I didn't buy it at exactly the top. I think I bought it like at about $12.70, and the stock price, it was moving, it was doing a really good job of going higher and so forth, and of course, it went down. So I had $11.90, and $11.90 corresponds with a price from, let's see, where's that price come from? Oh yeah, back here. So there's a big breakdown candle back here on the 16th of May, 2018. $11.90 was the bottom of that candle, and $18.90 was the top of the candle. So I was using that range as sort of guidance on what I could expect the stock price to do today. A rough range. So $11.90, I bought another 100 shares at $11.90 on this candle right here. And that put me in at an average of about $12.40, and I managed to get out of those 200 shares with about $19 profit. And so then a third attempt now, right here, this is kind of, let me move this back over to right there. And so here at 9:53, I made an attempt to buy as it pushed back over $11.90 and pushed back over this resistance line right here. And I traded that one for a total of 300 shares. And, I was only able to pull down $4, $3.99 off of that trade. It was, I let it go. It started to pull back on me, so I let it go. And I was just like, all right. That's, 3 flat trades like that. I'm glad I was able to trade it 3 times without being red on it. I mean, made 18, we'll call it 23 or 24, I mean $28 on it. And so it's essentially, that's break even, after trying to trade, let's see, 200, 400, 700 shares on it. I only made $28. I mean, that's essentially, if I'm not going to make any money on it, then it's basically 3 strikes, I'm out. Even though, I didn't go 3 strikes as in I went red, it was still 3 crappy trades. So then there was Zoom, ZM, and when I started paying attention to Zoom here, let's see if I marked it off on the 1 minute. Okay, yeah, looks like I marked it off on the 1 minute. Yeah, so I started paying attention to Zoom here, and I sold short 100 shares at $286.66. And of course, it started to come back through. 288.30 is the number that I had on the board for a short on this one. And I was late, and I was chasing. Instead of getting in on my entry, I chased. It went back up above my entry price, and so I had to let it go. It's really too bad. It stabbed through my entry price there and then continued downward. To a profitable, would have been a profitable trade. But I've got to cap my losses, whether I'm right or wrong. If it goes the other way on me, I've got to cap my losses before it turns into something that I can't handle. Something outside of my risk parameters. So then you can see here again, actually, 286.66 kind of bumped into it here a couple more times, and then after it couldn't break above 286.66 there, it let go. Finished the day at 282.36. Would have been nice to have been part of that trade, but unfortunately, I got shook off. I was shaken off of it, and I had a good entry. At 288.30 was the right spot. You can see here it bounced off the price right here, went up, and then plunged right through it. So, a sell right there at 288.30 would have been a really good spot to make just a little bit of money, a percentage. But, I unfortunately didn't do it. Let's see, NNVC, I don't think this thing really did much of anything all day. Yeah, okay, well, so it had this opening range here from about a low of 472 to a high of 528, about 50 cents roughly. But that's really tough to trade. That's a really tough, so it, here's its open right here at 491. So yeah, technically, I could have gotten in for about a 20-cent trade right there for the break of the open. And it came down and it caught support there at the open and moved higher and stuff. But I'm looking for something. If I'm going to trade momentum, I want something that's going to be moving, not just a few, 20, 25, 40 cents. I want something that's moving, $10, something that's really moving. Let's see, JCS. Well, look at it did after hours there. That's going to frustrate some people. After hours right here, it went up to a high of 1025. In regular hours, it can only make a high of about 950, 970. Yeah, so I didn't really do anything with JCS either. I mean, there was this trade did resolve itself, but that was at noon, and that's I was at lunch when this thing, was finally popped up, yeah, I don't, it's it upped its dividends, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of okay, whatever. And now here's Netflix, and the entry on Netflix, I missed this one. This is, the entry was at 586.34 per share. I remember looking at this and thinking, here's my entry. This is the spot where, I can, this is the designated spot for selling. And, I'm just not a short seller, it turned out this would have been a great trade. 586 down here to 579. That's, a little bit better than $9. Or 570. Oh no, 579. No, so it's a little bit better than $7. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have been in on that trade. I just, for whatever reason, decided. The criteria is that if it opened below 586.34, then 586.34 is going to be resistance, which you can see here. It opened below, opened at 584.90 roughly, 584.85, tumbled down and then crept its way back up to the resistance spot. Couldn't hold resistance and then went down. And for whatever reason, I chose not to be a part of it. I remember looking at it and thinking, here's my entry. Am I going to do it? And I just didn't do it. So, instead of having, an up day of what could have been, if I'd played Zoom correctly, could have had, I probably would have only made a couple $100 on this from 288 to 286. And then on Netflix, I probably, let's see, I may have waited on Netflix for it to come down. I've got a buddy of mine who's jumping up and down about being bearish on Netflix. I don't get it. I don't understand just by looking at the chart. I don't see it, and especially the Netflix's business model. But this guy swears up and down that Netflix is going to tank. He's got a target with a 4 handle on it. 450 roughly is where he's seeing it go. I don't see it, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I could have had a much better day than a negative $185 recap. That's the way it goes, so I'll be back at it tomorrow. All right, everybody, good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.